Richard Skinner and Doug Martin back with you from Super Bowl here in Erlanger, Kentucky. We've crowned ourselves a women's champion. We've crowned ourselves a youth champion. Time to find a men's champion. So let's go to the lanes now from Super Bowl. And our first men's match between that gentleman, Dan Meyer, and Bill Moore, and the winner to move on and meet Rick Carroll for the championship here in our final regular season week.
Dan's averaging 195 this year.
And a good reason why, right there.
Exactly, a good strong ball. He could have knocked down 20 pins with that. That was like a truck.
We heard that one crash all over this building. So now Bill Moore, who carries a 160 average and will pick up 35 pins in handicap and in differential, getting 23 pins here in this match. And a solid 10 for him. We've seen a few 10 pins here in this morning's bowling. Of course, taped this Sunday mornings, and we saw Melissa Lucas have several 10 pins in that opening match and in the women's championship match.
Yeah, we sure did. And she was having a problem picking up her spares. We'll see how Bill does. No problem at all.
Does a nice job. And Bill Moore, just in his third year of bowling, and you can see he's got really nice style, Doug, and I'm sure that 160 average will jack up in a hurry.
Yeah. Yeah, being in his third year, that's very commendable to be at that point. And he's I see he's already had a high series of 679, a high game of 279, and like everything else, you know, the more you do it, the better, the more proficient you're going to get.
Maybe from the backside. Nope, going to leave himself a pair of pins.
I almost had a backdoor strike.
Bill Moore qualified with scores of 201, 269, 157 for a 627 scratch series. We've seen some pin action down there today. We've seen a lot of ringing 10 pins, but they come up light a lot of times. We've seen a lot of pins go flying around.
Yeah, we sure have. See how he does on the 1-2. Perfect.
2 for 2 in marks for Bill Moore to start the match. Now Dan Meyer, who, as Doug said, has a 194 average, picks up 12 pins in handicap, and he qualified with some serious scores of 246, 204, and 247 for a 697 scratch.
He's had a high game of a 299, just missing a perfect game.
And a double to start.
Another truck.
Well, he's blown down the pins on 2 consecutive shots, and I mean, they've just gone flying all over the place.
He's throwing a fingertip 16-pound black hammer, and it's hammering them all right. Cups that ball, gets up under it.
And a 3-bagger and 3 big-time strikes for Dan Meyer. I tell you, 3 strikes like that can be awful intimidating.
Yeah, I don't know what Bill's thinking at this point, but you can't worry about your opponent. You just have to, it's you and the pins. We're probably going to have to get a new set of pins back here if it keeps going.
It's going to cost this house a little bit of money here before the day's over with.
Bill's also throwing a 16-pound fingertip grip ball.
Well, he's got 3 straight spares and 3 frames, but his opponent Dan Meyer with 3 straight strikes. Still, as you said, you got to worry about yourself at this stage of the game and try to keep your own game in mind. Yeah. Not much you can do about the other guy.
No, that's for sure. How do you like these shirts, Rich? They're good-looking shirts. We
sure are, and from Hal Manufacturing, and I'll tell you what, they provide us with some nice bowling shirts.
Our buddy Jim Chastang over there at Hal Manufacturing. Got that one out a little too far, Rich, and leaves the 1-2-4.
Oh, ooh, and couldn't get it from the outside. I thought for a second he might saw it from the outside, but an open frame here for Moore in the fourth.
Well, that ball went exactly where the first ball went. That's not what you want to do, especially when you got an opponent like Dan.
You talked about him cupping it. Maybe we can get a good shot of that this time. Watch him.
Yeah,
He
you can
really
see,
cups that ball.
He gets way under that ball, really puts the revolutions on it.
Well, got a little snug that time.
I think he broke some more pins than half that time, but unfortunately he didn't have any flying around the 4 pin. Came up a little tight. Leads to the 4. Thought we might see a perfect game today where he come out of the shooting those first 3 shots.
Tell you what, you got to expect maybe a lucky strike or two along the way. Maybe that was the frame this past one where maybe that lucky strike was supposed to happen.
Picks up the spare. He really hooks that ball. That ball almost hooked too far. He was over on the left side of the 4 pin. If the lane was another foot longer, he might have missed it.
Tell you, it really did turn for him. Chance to see that again. Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, he really gets under it. And
He sure does. Look at that.
another solid 4 pin. So back-to-back 4 pins left for Meyer.
That's one disadvantage to the, here we see comparison of the 2 forms.
You can see Moore on the top part of your screen, very, very smooth and very even, and Meyer, a little bit of a crooked elbow and kind of turns it, but
Yeah.
both of them with pretty good end results.
Got the spare. As I was saying before, that's one disadvantage of that big hook ball is on your spares. It does make it a little tougher to pick up spare. That's why you see a lot of the pros cut down the hook on their second shot or go to a harder surface ball to cut down on the hook.
We've yet to see Meyer go for a right-hand side spare as you see him with that 15-pin lead. Now Moore.
It's getting a little closer, but it's not there yet. Just can't quite get it up the hill.
Doug, the line, it looks like he's trying to swing it out and back in, and really he hasn't gotten it into a dry part yet. He's kind of trying to feel the lanes out still.
Well, he obviously doesn't put the revs on it that Dan does, and I don't know if he's trying to play the same line, but he's not going to be able to do that.
Yep, gonna have to hurry there, and back-to-back open frames for Moore. Let's see if he can get on a strike here as he moves to the 6th frame. He needs one. And right there, got a chance to sit down and try to collect his thoughts here after these 2 open frames.
Yeah, he's not time to quit yet. He was, I don't think he wanted to throw this frame.
That leaves himself a baby split this time. Both bowlers in this match making their first appearance on the program, and of course our top qualifier, Rick Carroll, who we've seen numerous times over the last 2 years, waiting in the wings for the championship.
Well, we've seen this a couple times today, but nobody's made it. Let's see if he can fit it up.
Yep, goes right in between him, and nice job by Bill Moore to come back off the 2 open frames. You know, you call that a baby split, but anytime you get a split, it's tough to bring back. And I think that one sometimes is tougher than most.
Well, that's true. They're all tough, and it is tough to get that ball in that exact spot between those 2.
Well, Meyer flew that 6 pin right around the 10, and now we'll get a chance to see him on one of those right-hand side spares, Doug, and see if he can cut down on the hook and bring this 10 pin back.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. If he throws the same ball, the strike ball at that 10 pin, he's going to have a hard time picking it up.
You saw that 6 pin go right around it. Let's see if Meyer can bring the 10 back. Nicely done.
Well, he cut down the hook a little bit, but he was able to throw it cross lane and still pick it up.
So after the 3 straight strikes, he's come back with 3 straight 9 counts and spares. He can't just do things in ones. He's got to do them in 3s. I'm sure he'd like to get back on that 3 straight strikes starting right now. Oh, there's the true tap, the 8 pin.
Yeah, that was That ball came in so strong. That's the problem with throwing a ball that strong. It throws the 5 straight back. The game was designed for the ball to throw the 5 into the 8, and with the equipment that's available today, the urethane balls, and he missed it. That's what we alluded to before, the big hook. It's hard to pick up spares sometimes that way. But with the equipment being what it is today, the urethane ball, and with the way the bowlers are really cranking it, they've just overpowered the pins.
Bill Moore would like nothing better to overpower him right here for a strike, and he needs one. That leaves the bucket. Doug, I'm sure a little bit of inexperience maybe by Bill Moore, just his 3rd year of bowling, and maybe he hasn't found that right adjustment yet.
Well, he's fishing around here, and this is where experience tells, you know. He's just been bowling 3 years, his first time on TV, and new experience here for him. And
does a nice job of covering that bucket, though. So right now, that mark for Moore gets him within 17 pins of Dan Meyer, so we still got ourselves a good match as we move into the 8th frame of this one. There's the first strike of the match for Bill Moore here in the 8th frame, so he's hoping that'll start a big string.
Well, like we said, he's been fishing around for a line, and that time it was perfect. So if he can just remember and duplicate what he did, he'll be in good shape now.
Yep. Meyer leaves another 4-pin. That's the 5th straight shot he's left one stick up on the deck.
With that much power, it's just throwing the pins straight back and over top of each other. And not really giving them, and he throws it with such speed, it's not giving the pins time to react properly. And that's why he's leaving these 1-pin spares here.
Covers the 4-pin this time here in the 8th frame and maintains a 17-pin advantage. So now he'll move to the 9th frame, try to build on something for the 10th. Well, there's another loud strike for Dan Meyer. When he does strike, he doesn't mess around with him. None of those mixing strikes for him, but it's flush in the pocket. And there you see that bottom left-hand corner. Boy, all 10 pins heading straight backwards.
That's just the way you're supposed to do it.
So now Moore, a chance to get within 7 if he strikes right here. And look out, he plays himself a nasty split.
That's a split that you see more and more these days with the urethane balls. Used to never see that type of a split, and it's virtually impossible. I saw that on the Pro Tour a couple times last week in critical spots. And
well, you got that sleeper back there, and you really got to get a big break to get it. Well, P taps 2, and maybe you throw one to the sidewall and get it to come across. Maybe a little luck involved, but if he gets the 2, and right now he's in big trouble here in this match.
I made that split one time last year.
Well, I made it the exact opposite way.
Well, I did too. I threw a backup ball at it. That's about the only way you could do it.
Yeah, because when your ball's going, as a right-hander, going the opposite way, it's really hard to not only slide one across, but slide one across and still get that sleeper. Yep, again, he's out wide. He made that good shot in the 8th frame, Doug, but last 2 shots he hasn't gotten it in a good spot for himself.
Yeah, he found the line. It's one thing to find the line, and it's another thing to duplicate it, especially like we were talking about with his inexperience, being on TV first time. It makes it tough.
Yep, he opens up here in the 10th frame, but it's not going to matter much. He finishes at 176 as Bill Moore, and Dan Meyer going to try to get himself in line for our championship.
Yeah, Dan doesn't even need to throw anymore, but get a little practice here in for the next game.
That leaves the 5-pin. So Dan Meyer is going to move on here in our final regular season championship match of the year, where he's going to move to meet our top qualifier, Rick Carroll, who shot 740 scratch. Yep, we didn't say it that time, but nobody does miss the 5-pin. We've seen that so far today. So Meyer now with all 10, if he can get all 10 down, he will finish at 217. There you see it. Meyer already has this one wrapped up, and chance to finish with a 205 scratch game with a strike. Well, he bangs one home right there, so Dan Meyer finishes at 217, 205 scratch. Our winner of match 1 is Dan Meyer, and we'll be back with our men's championship right after this.